There is a topic that we have spent not too much time with that is probably more deserving, and that is the 84 Mahasiddhas, or just Mahasiddhas in general. I believe last year we talked very briefly, or I answered two questions that were concerning Mahasiddhas, but that was done in a very general way. Now, the Mahasiddhas are, to translate it, it just means great adept, a siddha, one who is accomplished, a great accomplished one. Maha means great. So we have different systems of Mahasiddhas. We have lots of different ways of looking at them. But primarily we have two main categories of Mahasiddhas. We have, of understanding them in art, we have the 84 Mahasiddhas, sometimes referred to as the 80 Mahasiddhas. And this is a Tibetan thing where you just contract numbers or expand numbers to the easiest sounding word. So sometimes 84 is just made into 80. The same way that 100 is a very common description for sadhana texts and initiation cycles. Such as the 100 sadhanas of Bhari Lotsawa, the 100 sadhanas or the 100 practices of Mitra Gyatsa, whereas the Bhari is less than 100 and the Mitra is actually more than 100. So these numbers aren't always completely accurate. It's to what sounds best. But we do have a system of 84 Mahasiddhas, and then we have a system of 8 Mahasiddhas. Now the 84 Mahasiddhas, there's a number of different systems, at least 6, 7, maybe 8 different systems of 84. Now, for the 8 Siddhas, the 8 Siddhas is really a little bit different. The 8 Siddhas themselves are generally contained within the various systems of and enumerations and naming of the 84 Mahasiddhas. But the 8 Siddhas, how you understand the 8 Siddhas, how you study them, is different than how you study the 84 Mahasiddhas. For the 8 Siddha system, we have to really divide it into early systems and later systems. The early systems, really there's 4 early systems, and the first is India, Nepal. And how we understand that is by looking at sculpture and looking at lotus mandalas of deities such as Hevajra and Chakrasambhara, and these metal sculptures in the shape of lotus mandalas. On the outer leaves of the lotus petals, each has a Mahasiddha that is recognizable. And these are famous Mahasiddhas such as Luipa, Saraha, Indrabhuti, Nagarjuna, Varupa. So that's our earliest system, is the India, Nepal, lotus mandala system. Then we have Sakya and Kagyu, which kind of go together because it's based on early mandala paintings where you have a single Mahasiddha placed in each of the 8 cemeteries surrounding the mandala of a semi-wrathful or wrathful mandala composition. Now, the Sakya and the Kagyu differ slightly in their choice of Mahasiddhas. Now, where they differ is only maximum 2 or 3. Otherwise, they will use the same famous Mahasiddhas, such as Varupa, Luipa, Saraha, etc. Now, then for the early system, the latest one is 14th century, and it's a Jonong system. And the Jonong system, now generally they follow the Sakya and Kagyu system for mandalas, but they also develop a new system where they have different Mahasiddhas, but again only changing 1, 2, or 3, and it's based on a vision of Dolpopa and a praise that he wrote that is common within the Jonong liturgy texts and prayer books. So those are the early. Those are the 4 early systems of enumerating and naming the 8 Mahasiddhas. Now, the later systems belong to Tsongkhapa, so that's really in the late 14th, early 15th century. Then Longdo Lama and then the Palpung founder, Situ Penchen Chuki Jungne. Now, these teachers also developed their own systems of the eight, with the Tsongkhapa being the most different from the rest, with a real variety of teachers. Whereas the Palpung system of Sitipanchen, he really only changes one teacher from a standard early Kagyu, Karma Kagyu system. He changes, he replaces Luipa, the Mahasiddha, with Lawapa or Kambalapada. So these are the systems of the eight great Mahasiddhas, and we have to understand them as early systems and later systems, and then what are the names of the common siddhas that we're talking about. So this is just the beginning. We're going to talk more about Mahasiddhas in the future, both the eight siddhas, but also the different systems of the 84. So if you like this series of videos, then hit the like button. Please subscribe. If you wish to support the work we do, then go to the Har on Patreon site and become a full patron there. And then you can see much longer videos, and you can read essays that are unpublished on the Har website, and you can also see images that are not published elsewhere. Thank you.